Robert Nozick was another American philosopher who also proposed a theory of justice, which was in response to and in some ways opposed to John Rawls' theory. While John Rawls' theory focused on how social and economic inequalities in the society could be addressed by redistributing some of those advantages or redistributing some of the wealth through legislation, Robert Nozick gave more importance to individual rights and minimal government interference. Robert Nozick's theory also has three underlying principles. To explain how these principles work, you can imagine this scenario. Once upon a time, a fisherman went fishing in the sea, and he got caught in a storm. That storm blew his boat completely off course, and when the storm ended, he saw that he was near an island. When he went onto the island, he saw that it was completely uninhabited, and the island had some fruit trees. There was also a source of fresh water. So the fisherman liked this place very much, and he decided to stake his claim onto this island, and he built a house there. Now he had become the owner of an island that previously had no owners. After living on that island for many years, he decided to sell the island and retire onto the mainland. The buyer paid the agreed price and took over the island and the house and started living there. So the previous owner, that is the fisherman, had exercised his right to sell the property, and the new owner lawfully acquired it. After some time, some pirates happened to come that way. They landed on the island, they killed the new owner and took over that island. Here the pirates had unlawfully and unjustly acquired the island from the new owner. The government got to know about what had happened on the island, so they sent some navy ships to capture or kill the pirates. The navy defeated the pirates and captured that island. But since the new owner of the island had already been killed by the pirates, there were no claimants to that land. So the government decided to divide the land on that island among some poor fishermen so that they could build their houses and live there. What the government had done was to confiscate the property that had been unjustly acquired by the pirates and redistributed it within the society. If we now look at Robert Nozick's principles, when the fisherman originally acquired the island, he did so without violating anybody else's rights, because the island did not have any owners. If no rights are being violated, then the government should not interfere in the exercise of individual rights and freedoms. When he sold the island to the new owner, he was exercising his right to transfer. If the buyer had cheated him, then the government should intervene to uphold justice and return the land to the fisherman. On the other hand, if the seller and the buyer are exercising their rights and the transfer is lawful, then the government should not interfere. When the pirates took over the land, they committed an injustice. That is, they acquired or transferred the property unjustly. Here, the government should intervene to rectify the situation and either return the island to the rightful owners or redistribute it within the society. Nozick's view was that the government and laws should have minimal role to play in people's lives and should only ensure that the acquisition and transfer of property are done in a just manner. And the government should intervene only if rectification is required. What Nozick was opposed to was redistributive justice, or attempts to achieve social outcomes through legislation. For example, in India in the early 1960s, the government started passing land ceiling legislations, and land reforms were conducted to limit land holdings and redistribute the land. This would have been against Nozick's principles, because if the landowner had acquired or inherited the land lawfully, then the government was interfering in his individual rights and trying to achieve some social outcomes by making such laws. But these land ceiling and land reforms would align with John Rawls' principles, because the government was attempting to redistribute the land and achieve some social outcomes.